everybody. Welcome back to Liberty Warrior Nation. It is Monday, November 3rd, 2025. We have a wonderful show planned for you guys tonight, like we always do. Been working hard on what's been going on. A lot happening today. We got LW back there. He's all dressed up and ready to go. Jeff B, he's got his stogie burning, and he's in a good mood, ready to tell us all kinds of information tonight. We've got some videos to check out. We've got Tucker on what he feels is going to be happening with Venezuela, and then Jeff B and LW have some good insight on Venezuela as well. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover Arctic frost because we know that's been hot. Arctic frost has been in the news. We've got some information from Senator Chuck Grassley we're going to share with you guys about that. Then we're going to, of course, cover the government shutdown. We know that it's been shut down, and those SNAP benefits have been a major issue with what's coming November 5th as well. People in protest about it all, wanting Trump gone. Well, Trump did have a comment in what is going to be a temporary, I guess, resolution to the SNAP benefits coming up. But we have this and so much more, you guys. Looking forward to tonight's show, and we'll be right back with everybody right after this 30-second break. So run to the bathroom, grab your drink, add some ice in the cup, or get your coffee going, because we've got a lot to catch up on tonight.
All right. Hey. Welcome back to LWN tonight. How's everybody doing? Drop us your state in the chat. I like seeing where everybody's from. And would love to welcome our co-host, Jeff. Jeff B with us tonight. And Tammy, as always, thank you for joining us.
It's good to be here. Jeff B, you ready to go?
Merhaba, kefalak.
See? Told you guys he was fired up and frisky tonight. You are too, LW. It is Monday. At least we're turning Monday into a good day, because Mondays are rough when you have to start that work week for sure.
Absolutely. It was a rough one this morning. It was a little chilly, about 35 degrees when I started tonight. So it's a Monday. It's brandy and cigars with Jeff B. How could you actually want anything more? It's a fun show to do, and we got some more planned for you guys later this week. So stay tuned. I'm working on a date. I think it's going to be Thursday for Diamond Inn and John Estabrooks. So that'll probably be a Thursday show, just so you guys know. And then I've got some other people working behind the scenes. And I'm trying to plan a show for Wednesday. It's going to be a real hot topic. I asked Jeff if he'd join us on Wednesday as well for that show, and it's going to have to do with DC Intel. And so if you guys want to catch that one, I would mark it on the calendar for Wednesday evening. So we're gonna be working on that too.
It sounds good. Packed week. So Jeff B, how's your Monday going so far?
Yeah, I'm kind of like whoever said it in the chat. My Mondays ended about 10 years ago.
You know what? I like that, and I can't wait to someday get to that, to be honest with you.
But no, I work more now than I did when I was working, so.
So Tammy is what you would call semi-retired. Well, she was semi-retired. Mm-hmm. Then she retired for like 1 month I think it was the month of September or October. And now she's back to working full-time LWN. And even she said, man, I work more retired than I did when I had a job. My dad says the same thing. What's that about?
Well, because now you're doing something you enjoy.
Yeah. You have the time to research stuff. And I get up earlier than I ever have gotten up. When I was working, I slept in to the last minute. I had myself programmed a routine every morning. And now, you. And I get up, I'm like at the crack of dawn, I'm awake and I'm ready to go. I get my coffee, I get behind my computer, and I'm loving life. It's what I love to do. I'm just very happy. It is an adjustment though. LW, I know you're looking forward to it, but take it from me, it is an adjustment because trying to you think you kind of feel guilty, then you're like, what do I do? It's just all an adjustment. I don't know about you, Jeff B. Was it hard for you or no?
No,
No,
not at all.
you were just ready for it, huh?
Yeah. There was no more stress.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yep. So the youngster of the group, he'll catch up to us eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. There's a lot of people from all across the country in here, which is pretty
yeah.
cool. You asked where they were from, and we had Wisconsin, like we have a lot of them. We had Oklahoma, and Connecticut, Massachusetts, and behind enemy lines, Pappy Two Bears. That's a good one, Pappy. Southern Missouri, Ohio, the great state of Ohio. Man, I love seeing that.
Yeah,
scroll
I
back
like
and
I
all
like
that.
seeing him too. Daniel says he's from Los Angeles. Jennifer Wright, North Carolina here. So just all over the country. We've had people watching us all over the globe too, and some of them will show up from the UK or Canada. We have one from Ireland, Philippines. We got Wyoming and Arizona there. So Arkansas, good to see you guys tonight. Thanks for joining us.
So I guess we should probably get off with a good start to the show here, because there really is a lot to cover. And the videos that I have, they aren't long, obviously, but I think they make for a great conversation piece. And I've got a few from Chris Hannah Hall, who is a constitutional expert and lawyer, and her husband have all these programs. I told you I attended her seminar. She's a brilliant young lady, and I'll tell you what, some of the couple things that I have for her, I can't wait to see what you and Jeff say about this. So I know.
You're driving the bus. Go for it, Tammy.
So I think the first thing we need to cover, I'd like to cover, is Arctic frost, because that has been in the news like crazy. And there's this article that came out with Chuck Grassley, and I thought it would just be good to show exactly these two questions of what is Arctic frost, and to see what he has to say about it. So hopefully that's big enough. But basically it says, what is Arctic frost? It was in Biden administration, the Federal Bureau of Investigation opened an investigation on April 22nd, or April 2022, codenamed Arctic frost. And he said he started his congressional oversight of Arctic frost in July of 2022 after whistleblowers approached his office. And then he said over the FBI investigation, it was open to examine an alleged false elector scheme following the 2020 election. So since then, he's done a lot of work and all that, and he's explaining how you and Jeff always talk about how the government's been weaponized, the federal government, against people, against constituents, and stuff like that. But he's also saying that the official special counsel has confirmed that Thibault broke the law. The Hatch Act prohibits political activity among federal employees while on duty, which Jeff B. always talks about the Hatch Act. And I just think it's good to catch people up, because there's so much detail in this. And then the next question was, how is the targeting of political opponents during the Biden administration worse than Watergate? And he says the oversight work continues to pull back the curtain on the full extent of partisan misconduct at play in the Arctic frost investigation. Most recently, I learned as part of the investigation, the Biden FBI misused the long arm of the law to target at least 8 Republican senators in 2023. It sought and obtained cell phone tolling data for their devices, even though they weren't under investigation. He says this is a serious breach of constitutional separation of powers, which you and Jeff B. use that term as well. I also discovered the Arctic frost documents have been hidden as so-called prohibited access files at the FBI to prevent them from ever seeing the light of day. As a lifelong family farmer, I know it takes the light and heat of the sun to grow crops. Likewise, I've learned in Washington it takes the heat of the congressional oversight, often aided by the courage of whistleblowers, to shine the light on wrongdoing and holding government accountable to the public. So as part of all this effort, I've sent letters to the DOJ and the FBI, as well as various other federal entities and telecommunications companies, seeking all records related to Arctic frost and all all records they provided to former special counsel, remember this guy, Jack Smith, for his investigation into President Trump and others. In the infamous Watergate tapes, President Nixon delivered the marching orders to fire a Pentagon whistleblower for telling the truth. As a freshman member of the U.S. House of Representatives elected post-Watergate, I cut my teeth on holding government accountable. History shows transparency brings accountability. As a watchdog for good government, I'll keep digging to the root of wrongdoing and ensure the government works for the American people, not the other way around. So I thought that was a good synopsis of what is going on with Arctic frost and why it is so damaging and why it should never happen. So when it comes to that, we talk about the criminal charges being brought against people. Oop, I got to stop sharing this. So if you guys, sorry about that. I'm excited about this. I love when we have good information on top of Jeff's information and yours, of course. But the criminal charges are coming against Boasberg. And I don't know if you guys remember when I was doing headline hits, Boasberg's one of the main judges that was blockading Trump all the time about things. So people are coming after Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz. Both confirmed this week that their official campaign phone records were secretly subpoenaed by special counsel Jack Smith, with Judge Boasberg personally signing a gag order to conceal the unconstitutional seizure from them for over a year. So Boasberg, his hands are all over this too. So I'm going to leave it there and see what you guys have to say about all that.
Well, first I want to say real quick, we got 350 people just between YouTube tonight. Really appreciate all you guys being here. If you guys can do us a huge favor, we broke 500, I think, a couple of times, 500 likes. So if you guys can smash that like button, because we only have 17 likes right now on Liberty Warrior Nation 2. Let's get those likes up on both those channels and on Rumble if you guys can hit the like button. X is growing a little bit. We caught a little bit of traction. So everybody that's watching us over on X, if you can hit the like button too, share us out, that would be awesome. And Facebook as well. We almost hit our goal of 250 subscribers on Facebook right now. So we're coming back from 15,000 that got taken away from me. So anything that you guys can do to help us over there on Facebook would really appreciate, especially if you share us out on your page. That helps a lot. I'm going to let Jeff go ahead and go first on this, and then I'll go second. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, so Arctic Frost, of course, I didn't know what the cover name of it was at the time. It was never shared with me. But there's somebody that I probably talk to 15 times a day that's probably listening, that I had told them I said, now watch, this is probably going to come true, that this is happening. And I get the normal, yeah, okay, let's hear this nonsense. And so I told him, I said, well, there's somebody that I know extremely well had called me and asked about some documents. If I were to run across some documents that if they knew that I knew about it, it could bring them up on charges. And I was like, is it classified, unclassified? And he goes, it's above a caveat called Umbra. And I was like, oh boy. And I said, if it was me, I said I'd either go to the IG or I'd walk my ass to somebody up at Capitol Hill that I could trust and at least get it on the record. And so after debating, he calls me back a couple days later and he says, well, I went to the IG and then I went to the Hill. And he didn't tell me which senator, but now that we have this, I'm guessing he probably spoke with Grassley and told him what he had found out. And with his connections to the current president, he placed a phone call to him and let him know that he was going to be leaving that certain agency, and he was going to retire. And Trump had told him to hold on, stick it out, and there's going to be other things that are going to happen. So this here is going to open up Pandora's box, because now it's going to come to find out, and I'm sure probably in rapid fashion, that they used the FISA courts to eavesdrop on U.S. citizens,
Wow.
which would be against use at 18.
Man, okay, so now, see, I love this. This is the stuff that
Is
I
it my
thrive
turn
for.
yet, Tammy?
No,
Is it
no,
my
wait,
turn yet?
You will. You gotta just think for a moment longer, because this ties into what Jeff said. Because there are 3 criminal charges that that he committed in the Arctic Frost scandal, that Pam Bondi, according to a Gateway Pundit article, could immediately arrest him. And the 3rd charge is going to arrest Jack Smith as a co-conspirator. So I'm just going to read the names of the 3, because one of them is what Jeff said. One was deprivation of rights under color of law, and that's 18 U.S.C. 242. Then obstruction of proceedings before Congress. And then the 3rd one was conspiracy against rights. So there's 3 things they laid out that can nail, the 3rd one can nail Jack Smith as a co-conspirator to Boasberg. And that's why I've said all along, it's so important to even pay attention to the judges, not just the names that we hear all the time, senators and congressmen, but judges. And this is, like he said, can open Pandora's box, because this is also the same judge who allowed Ray Epps, the only January 6th defendant caught on video urging people to storm the Capitol, he allowed him to walk free. Now, you may.
Now
Go
my
ahead.
turn. Okay. Well, one thing that I want to comment on is what Jeff said about basically the government, NSA, or whoever spying on us. But that goes all the way back to 9/11 with the Patriot Act, which at the time I was 26 years old, and I thought, yeah, we need the Patriot Act. You know, we need to find out who these terrorists are here in this country. And I want Jeff to talk on that here in just a second. But now it's kind of like, now that I know that's been going on, why the hell are they listening to the American people and the citizens? Now, I understand there's people in this country they probably should be listening to, but a gray beard like me and Jeff, probably not, or even Tammy. But we get so upset because I get frustrated thinking about this, because for years now, since the very first week I went live, which would have been March of 2021, I had to start talking in code, and I had to. We remember that whole 2-3 years, Jeff and Tammy, where we had to use stupid words like the vacation for vaccine and all the other shit. We couldn't even use the F word. We couldn't use the E word because they censored us. You talked about Joe Biden and the Biden administration and all those clowns running the government for those 4 years, how they weaponized the government. They weaponized the FBI. They weaponized Facebook. They weaponized YouTube. We got taken down. We lost this channel for 3 years. I got taken down on Facebook. It was just constant censorship. Me and John Estabrooks did 18 months of podcasting on the vaccine and on the reactions to the vaccine. We had to go to Podbean to talk about that stuff because you couldn't even talk about it on YouTube, and you couldn't talk about it on Facebook or anywhere else because they would take us down. I lost thousands of dollars because of that. I lost all kinds of revenue, monetization, money. I was putting my own money into this thing trying to keep it going. And it's a shame that I felt like we were living in a communist country, to be honest with you. So that's my frustration. I had to vent it out. Thanks for stirring me up, Tammy.
You're welcome. But yeah, so then also there's a few little things here about what did Boasberg actually do in layman's terms, not the technical talk of the numbers of the different
Well,
I
want Jeff to talk about the Patriot Act too.
Let
and
him
this,
do that first.
This censorship stuff, because it goes a lot deeper than just recently. I mean, this goes in my opinion, it goes all the way back to 9/11 to September 11th. Jeff?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Patriot Act, as mostly everybody knows, started after 9/11. And there was a group within, and it's like a developmental group inside of NSA that had the technology to basically tie into what they call trunks. Big, remember the whole Nashville thing after the election, the AT&T group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So NSA had kits that they could do this kind of stuff with. And it was going to be a slippery slope because even in the very beginning, after 9/11, when I was at the Bureau, there was a lot of questions that had to been sent to legal counsel, whether it was DOJ or White House counsel, and no one really knew because it was something that had never been done before. Because let's say I'm sitting in a field station in Hawaii or Savannah, Seca, and I'm listening to a conversation, and the conversation that I'm listening to, we'll say, is Pyongyang, and somebody picks up a phone in Pyongyang and calls somebody, and I think it possibly could be a U.S. citizen. So you start doing HFDF, trying to triangulate where the second half of this call is. And if it is a U.S. citizen, you have to drop that conversation. And then you have to do reporting that you copied a U.S. citizen. It's called UCID 18. And this would kind of sort of bypass that fail safe. And I had told people, for the last 5 years, the greatest gift George W. Bush ever gave this country was going to be the Patriot Act. I'm sorry, not the Patriot Act, the FISA courts. Because they are going to, and I think this administration, they are going to use the FISA courts against them. Because it's a very secretive court. Nobody knows where it's at. They change daily. The judges change daily. They're very high up on the judicial ladder when it comes to national security. So 90% of these judges have had either legal counsel, top tier work in intelligence agencies, or they were JAG officers with top secret SCI clearances. But I think a lot of these judges are going to be screwed.
And not in a good way.
Correct.
Because especially this Boasberg. So now that we know that he's one of them that they were going after, and we've heard about him all summer long and stuff. He endangered Americans and allied lives when he legally exposed an ongoing military operation. I mean, that's some serious stuff right there. He also freed that New York City woman that traveled to the White House after threatening to unalive President Trump. Mm-hmm. He also allowed Biden to illegally spy on Trump allies, Team Biden. That include U.S. senators. So these veins go throughout our whole government. He also illegally covered up the spying. This is one judge out of all the ones we know that are crooked that we've heard about this summer trying to do a whole bunch of different things. So they're calling for the impeachment of him, definitely. And I think it's time that the impeachment goes the other way, because can you imagine if if anybody else did something like this, like Trump can't even look the wrong way, and he gets in trouble, or, people rip cash and all these people apart, aren't thrilled with everything that they're doing, and they'll rip them apart. But this judge has just been pompously walking around like he doesn't think he's going to face any problems at all.
I know he pissed you off all summer, Tammy, when you were when you were doing headline hits. I swear every day was something about this judge. You're like, this son of a bitch.
I know it is. And I'm very happy tonight to hear this and see that, they're going after him, and they've got the proof. It isn't a matter of a personality contest. The dude is a judge. He shouldn't be acting this way. It's ridiculous.
I totally agree.
And don't forget, he's an Obama judge, too.
Well, look at what this judge just put out. I believe it was either today or Saturday, that Trump has till Wednesday to reinstitute SNAP. Either fully fund it by Wednesday or partially fund it. Now, I can't remember any time that a federal judge could tell the chief executive of the executive branch how to run a budget. And not only that, to run a budget, but tell him to how to run the country. Because if that was the case, then the executive branch would never get anything done.
Right.
Yeah.
They'd be bouncing their heads
sounds
off
like
the wall.
Somebody's dog's chasing an illegal out in the yard or something.
Yeah.
I would like to see Trump just tell this judge to kick cans, to be honest with you.
Well, he did come out with a statement and a solution. This was today, because Jeff is right. He had till Wednesday, but he said he was going to deal with it, the legal process, what the judge would order, and he would follow that. So basically, he told the Rhode Island judge, federal judge today, that it would tap billions of dollars in the contingency funds to pay 50% of the normal amount of SNAP benefits in November as the government shutdown persists.
Yeah.
Now, Judge Jack McConnell offered and said that they should be using, what was it? They were going to use money from the Children Nutrition Program and other funds. And Trump said, we're not doing that. Instead, the administration is going to pull out of a $4.65 billion fund remaining from a contingency fund for SNAP appropriated by Congress for November benefits that'll be obligated to cover 50% of eligible households' current allotments. So what Jeff had said, yes, he's gonna cover November. It's enough to cover half of it, but he's not tapping into this other stuff, and he didn't wait till Wednesday because the movement happened today. So
yeah, this is a shit show. This is. But again, I want people to know it's not the only time that this has ever happened. This thing, it seems like ever since 9/11, it's been happening every year when it comes to the budget. So this isn't an anomaly. This isn't the first time ever that it's ever happened. So we're going to see where this leads us all to. I've heard some people say that he's not going to open the government back up. He got what he needed in the big, beautiful bill, and so he doesn't need to open the government back up. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I want to say hi to everybody. There's people in there saying, good to see you. Good to see you guys, too. It's been a long time, so thanks for joining us tonight. As always, hit that like button, subscribe, share us out if you can on any of those platforms. It really helps us.
Yes, it does. So also another side note to this SNAP stuff, Chris Ann Hall, who is the Constitution expert, says this. She says, how many know that food stamps, #SNAP, and Medicaid are mandatory spending and not even part of the annual budget? They both are authorized by permanent law, not by the annual appropriations omnibus bills. Congress does not need to vote each year to fund them unless they want to change eligibility, benefit levels, or formulas. The funding automatically adjusts based on how many people qualify and what benefits they are entitled to under existing law. So she said all the rhetoric is basically fear-mongering. And
yeah, but they do want to make a big change, Tammy. That's this whole fight. Yes. Is the Republicans want to defund the illegals, and the Democrats are fighting tooth and nail. It's funny. frickin' pisses me off that they fight so hard for these illegals to get them all these benefits that you and me, the American people, have to pay out of my frickin' check each and every week. But are they fighting for you? Are they fighting for the people listening tonight? Are they fighting for an increase on your living expenses, for your Social Security, your Medicaid, your Medicare? Are they fighting for your retirement? Or are they fighting for any goddamn thing for the American people? No, they're not. They're fighting for these frickin' illegals, and I am sick and tired of it, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, and that can take me to a quick little clip here of Mike Johnson, who was on the floor today and gives a list of, he calls it ransom demands that the Dems want, and I'll play that clip because it ties into exactly
put the
what you just said.
Put Tom's comment up on. There you go. Thanks for putting that up there. So Tom says, I heard after 41 days of shutdown, the Doge cuts could be permanent. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's play this clip because it covers exactly what you said real quick.
The Democrat shutdown that everybody needs to recognize. Here's 4 of them. First of all, we have to have.
Can you guys hear that?
You know that in the Senate it requires 60 votes
Yes.
to break an impasse. Wait, hang it on, Lily, hold it real here. Keep it close to the podium. I want everybody to see this, okay? We're going to make it simple. I had my 15-year-old son and some of his friends were together over the weekend, and they wanted me to explain it to them as simply as possible. This is the little
They can't hear
it. Hey, fellas,
Producer.
civics. You got to have 60 votes in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans, so we must have Democrats to do it. The Democrats are out trying to claim that this is all on Republicans because we control the government. We don't control the Senate without 60 votes, so you have to have them.
You want to pause that for just a second, Tammy?
Yep.
Okay. It's over here.
Okay, so while the producer and you are trying to figure out the volume, he just said that is what the Dems are pushing, saying, hey, we're in control of it, yet we're the ones holding back. We're being stubborn, not listening to them and giving in to their demands, or we're not trying to compromise. When he just said we need 60 votes. So we need, I think it's 5 Dems to switch up and come over to our side to get it. So that's number one. That's the number one falsehood that has been putting out there by the left, is that we could take care of this if we wanted to, that Trump's just a mean president and Congress and these senators are just mean people and they don't want to work with the Dems, and that's not true at all.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. Producer, yep. It's one of those. Go ahead, Tammy, try it again.
So try it again. Okay.
Yeah.
Democrats, counting the House and the Senate together, they voted 13 times to keep the government closed. And what they're demanding as a ransom to reopen the government are some really crazy things. They want to restore $200 billion in health benefits paid for by U.S. taxpayers to illegal aliens and non-citizens. We can't do that. They want billions of dollars in wasteful programs to be returned to foreign countries for things that none of you would agree with. We are not going to do that. They want $500 million to go back to left-leaning news organizations paid for by taxpayers. We can't do that. And then they want to cut $50 billion from the Rural Hospital Fund that Republicans got signed into law July 4th to prop up health care in red states and rural areas around the country. It's too important, but they want to take that away. They know that we can't do it. And now that they've begun to admit what this is all about. Thanks, Lee. You put on the thing there. They're admitting what they're up to. Chuck Schumer said every day of the shutdown gets better for us, meaning the Democrat Party. And you know, we had the second-ranked Democrat in the House, the minority whip, who just said a few days ago, the end of last week, that we know that this is causing great pain for the American people, but we have to use this leverage. We don't have many times where we have leverage like this. And so they've shown you what the real motivation is. But ultimately, why are they doing all that? Let me summarize this really quickly, as simply as I can, for the civic students back home. Republicans are not demanding anything, literally nothing. All we want is to reopen the government. The Democrats are demanding all those things I just showed you on the chart, plus a lot more. When I say they want to send money to foreign countries, this is some of the things that they would propose that we spend money on again. They're demanding, this is a ransom to reopen the government. Things like $4 million for global LGBTQI plus awareness campaigns around the world. $4 million for the LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million for feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that. But again, the question is why? Why?
All right, sorry about
Okay,
that. They
so-
couldn't hear anything. Producers saying they could hear it better if I was playing it on my end. The reason why the volume was so low is it's because it's coming from your side of things, so that's why it's so hard to hear. So next
Yes.
time when we do videos, I might have to do them on this side, Tammy. That's all.
Yeah, a couple people said they could hear it, so I don't know. But anyway, so basically exactly what you were talking about before we played that video was $200 billion to illegal aliens for help and medical aid, and $500 million to news organizations. This is a couple of the things. You listed 4 little tiny things out of all the things they're asking for, that it was not pro us or for us once again. So it's exactly what you said, LW. They're not for us at all.
No, they're not. Jeff?
Well, I mean, this whole, the 60 votes, there are some conservatives out there to that are telling Trump use the nuclear option to where you don't have to have a 60 vote majority. But that can come back and bite them in the rear end. Now, with this government being shut down, and you really don't need Congress to really do anything if you're under continuity of government. And this is just my theory. I think this whole government shutdown's intentional because it gives the president and the military a wide spectrum of things that they can do with A, continuity of government, B, with the Insurrection Act. And I believe I seen a report today. I don't know if it was Elon Musk or if it came out of Treasury, where just in this month alone, they have found over $763 billion in illegal SNAP benefits being distributed.
Yeah.
Okay, so think of this, and I know there's skeptics about what I'm going to talk about next, but I do see a lot of warning signs that it's maybe not on the verge, but it's coming. Uh, this right here, all these little pockets of money that they are finding are being abused, that could be your monthly or yearly check that comes from the government as people known as Nasara.
Or
Because-
somebody like me only paying 12% taxes on my income instead of 32%. That would be nice too.
Well, yeah, and look, they just changed something in the tariff rules within the last week because there was a loophole in getting around tariffs where if I had products shipped from the UK or from China, and if I had uh, if I had a delivery coming in through the U.S. Postal Service, there wouldn't be any tariffs on it. If it came through a shipping company such as FedEx, DHL, they automatically did the tariffs. Well, put in an order this morning to come through the U.S. mail because it wasn't anything that we needed urgently. Now in England, they are requiring anybody who sells online to front load tariffs to the U.S. Like if you were in the U.K., you pay a VAT tax. Well, now England is front end loading the tariffs. So you have to pay the tariffs as soon as you purchase it. So somebody was smart enough to get around the loophole and got the cooperation of the British government to invoke this.
Wow. Well, it's such a mess. Everything's such a mess. It's like so to try to understand it, and it's complicated, try to fix it and get it out of it. That's why we just need to wipe it out because it is such a maze of confusion for people.
Totally agree, Tammy. Gut this damn thing. Let's gut it and start over. Real quick, I want to say thank you. We have somebody that bought all three of us a coffee tonight. Says thank you, all three of you, for doing your part and bringing a little sanity back to this insane world. If you can drop your name in chat there, Tammy will grab it and write it down so that we can put your name in the drawing, the silver coin drawing next month. So it'll be the first or second weekend in December. Tomorrow I'm placing the order for silver with Miles Franklin, and I'm buying $500 worth of silver tomorrow, have it shipped to Tammy, and then we'll get those coins out after the drawing. If you want to be part of that drawing, all you have to do is just buy us a coffee over on Rumble. You can do a super chat and Rumble so that we see it. I'll write your name down, and we'll put your name in the drawing.
That sounds fun. Go ahead, Jeff.
Tammy, when you have a second, if you could do a quick Google search of how many Americans are on SNAP benefits.
We already kind of know. Didn't Michelle give us that last week? It was wasn't like 8.4% of the total benefits were. It's more than that. That was white America. And then Black America was a little more than that. So maybe you do need to find that, Tammy.
It's about 42 million Americans.
Okay.
That's total.
Yep.
That's total, though.
And then it says, meanwhile, on the West Coast, 17%, while California and Washington are closer to the national middle at 13%. So basically, we are peons. The numbers are small. It's a 7%, 17%, 14%, depending on the nationality or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the illegals from all these Somalia and stuff are the ones that are way up there getting it.
Correct. Now, if you would take $763 billion and divide it into 42 million.
You want me to do that, Jeff? I can do that.
Fingers.
Yeah,
I can do it.
And get a dollar figure.
Okay, what's the number again? You said
it's $763 billion.
How many zeros is that?
That would be.
There's million. One,
that'd
two,
be 9 zeros.
3. There we go. I got 9 zeros. Divide it by 42 million.
Yep.
You probably don't want to know this number. It looks like $1,800 a piece.
Okay, so Kaiser Soze had put in there, that seems way overinflated. It's $18,000 a month. So
it's $1,800 a month.
Oh, okay, $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
I know that there are reports of people just in the city that I live that they're getting $4,200 a month in benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So the number is not outrageous.
Yeah, there's a lady on TikTok that was bitching last week about she has 6 kids and she's losing $4,300 a month.
Correct.
Just on Snap. And she was doing a live and people were saying, well, why don't you go out and get a job? She goes, I can't get a job. I got all these kids I got to take care of. Well, I got a comment I can't even say.
It ticks me off so bad. Okay. I know, right?
But now I'm probably going to piss you two off, though.
Yes, it was $4,300 just for groceries. To answer Outlandish Patriots' comment there, it was $4,300 a month for 6 kids just for groceries. That didn't include anything else. It was just groceries only.
Yeah, it doesn't include health care or any of that stuff. Now, here's where I think if a person chooses to have 6 kids, that's their choice. Okay? Correct. I do agree with her in one aspect that has to be fixed.
She has to be fixed?
No, no, no.
Oh,
No.
that's what I was thinking for
Yeah.
for a minute there.
A
Maybe,
problem
you know,
that
like you
has to be
spay
fixed.
like you spayed a cat. She might need to get fixed too. I don't know.
Right. So here's the issue. She is correct. It is easier and more beneficial for her to sit at home and collect the $4,200 than having, if the kids aren't in school, daycare. Because some of my friends who have
Yeah.
kids, the wife, it's almost cheaper for her to quit her job, quit her career, to pay for daycare. Now, I'm not a genius, but if you have people that, for whatever reason, aren't employable, whether it's disability or who need benefits for other reasons, you know, I think it would be cheaper for the government or some agency to hire these people based on them getting benefits if they can pass a rigorous background check for childcare.
Mm-hmm.
There you're killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah. And here's the deal. There's a couple of questions there in chat. I don't know if it was 6 baby daddies for sure, but I do know it was multiple baby daddies. And I look at it this way: if it was a family that had 6 kids, and the dad was working, and he was a sole provider, and he was struggling a little bit to make ends meet, and he was trying to work full time and maybe even 2 jobs and still couldn't feed those kids, and I could see a little bit of a hand up, right, and some help.
Right.
But for any individual that goes out and reproduces at a scale like that and then can't afford to take care of them, I not a big fan of, whether that's a man or a woman, because there are men out there that are, it takes 2, right? And he's helping produce these kids, and he's not paying child support. And that's one of her complaints, was that none of the baby daddies, and that was plural, were not helping with any kind of child support and helping raise these kids. It was all her on her own. So before we throw too many stones at her,
Correct.
you know,
There's
now,
the fathers.
yeah, there's the fathers, but Jesus, how many fathers do you have? Like, come on now.
Well, and she wasn't the only one. There's plenty out there that you can see videos of them complaining that they have multiple children and no active father or fathers in the lives of these children, at least as far as supporting them. Or maybe they are, and they're lying, and they're just coming off the government anyway. So I don't know. It's just insanity to me. I've never had that kind of money to spend on groceries, and I've worked my whole life.
Well, you know, and a lot of this is how mind-boggling social media is to me, because I have buddies at Treasury that send me these TikTok clips where these people openly come out on TikTok and admit they're committing fraud.
Yeah.
And the best one I seen today was a lady got on there she was in a new vehicle, and she was talking about how pissed she was because she had to use her money to buy groceries instead of using her money to buy beauty products. And, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know what beauty store she was going to, but she may want to reconsider some things.
Oopsie. I know the sense of entitlement with a lot of these people, because of course they feel entitled to it. It's been a long way of life for many, many years. It wasn't a hand up at all. They use it as their means of eating, and the government taking care of them.
Hold on a second, Tammy. Where in the heck is Rocky Valentino? Remember that game we used to play? Where in the world is Rocky Valentino? Well, guess where he's at tonight.
Oh, look,
right here on LWN. I see him there. It says blessings, bless you all from Columbia tonight.
That's awesome.
But I think that might be Columbia, Colorado. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on that. It says Columbia and then CO.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Columbia, Colorado. I thought he was in Columbia right now.
I was gonna say,
Getting some of those good coffee beans.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're in Columbia, you might want to think about leaving soon.
Oh yeah. So, and it is generational. Noletta, she's right with this, and we shouldn't feel bad about saying this because it is us paying in. It is none of us are mean and want children to starve. None of us are saying that. This is ridiculous. This rhetoric that comes back at us just for voicing the things that we voice. But how do they even have the ability to have a phone and be on TikTok making these dang videos with all these kids? What the heck do they do? Just shop? And they have all this money to shop and then they can make TikToks all day? That must be nice. I'm doing something wrong.
Well, here's something, and this isn't race-based or anything, but I can remember probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago when myself and one of my brothers or whatever, we'd go to like a Walmart. And, you're waiting in line, and we would pick out basically looking at people's shopping carts, whether they were paying for themselves or whether they were paying them with food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
And you can literally tell by the type of food that they're getting. Not saying that they're not entitled to it, but it's like, look, you don't have any, I guess, personal responsibility with the money if it's not coming out of your own pocket.
Yeah, I mean,
they buy junk.
Yeah, you buy whatever you want. So real quick, we got 220 likes tonight on just YouTube. So if you guys can hit that like button, if you're just getting in here, help us. We're trying to break 500 again. That'd be very helpful. And same with X, Rumble, and Facebook. If you guys can hit the like button there, subscribe, share us out. That would be great.
Wait, I seen the best comment so far.
What's the comment, Jeff?
RH stopped having kids back in the 1960s. Good old RH.
Good old RH.
There. Oh no, where's it at? It's going too fast.
Okay, we are going to turn the phones on here in a little bit when I tell producer to go ahead and kick the phones on. They're not on yet, but we will do that later in the show. Tammy, I did get all of your emails kind of teed up. So if there is anything that you want us to play, just let the producer know, and they can go into my email and click on that. I am prepared for all of that. And don't forget, one of the biggest topics I want to cover tonight is the possible, if you want to call it this, I know I sure in hell do, possible insurrection around the White House on November the 5th to demand that Trump step down and be removed. Now, we had a personal conversation about this, Tammy, earlier, and I'm going to share that later in the show because I think it's important that we bring this up.
Absolutely. So let's move forward. Well, this. I was going to show the flyer for November 5th because we got Venezuela to cover, just a Tucker thing, and I want to get Jeff and your opinion on it, that quick little video. Then
let's talk about Venezuela.
We've got the shutdown. Let's do this real quick. Let's go to the Chrisian that I sent. It's on the shutdown. It was
Chris Hall?
Chris Ann Hall. It's the first one where she's sitting there with the books behind her. And this is really amazing. This really pissed me off, actually. And I think it's going to do the same to you and Jeff, because even though we may know some of this, nobody's doing shit about it. So if you can play that one, that'd be great. It's a message to the sovereign states of America.
Okay, that's not the right one. You mean the birthright citizenship?
No, it's the other one.
Okay, it's the other one.
Yep, there's only 3. I only sent 3. Tucker and 2 of hers.
Okay. There it is. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I got to have producer help me. I got it, but I got to get the sound and everything, so.
Oh, this is going to piss you guys off because
we still got to share screen, too.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know where they went. Let me grab it real quick. Boom.
And you know what, Mimi? Yes, Trump is working day and night. Let's keep all the losers out of his way, including Boasberg.
Economic fallout of the political theater in Washington,
sounds
D.C.
horrible.
Echo.
I want to say to you very seriously, this is your moment. Now is the time to reclaim the authority that has always been yours. The Supreme Court in NFIB v. Sebelius confirmed that the states are independent sovereigns
It's horrible
and
law.
must act like it. The federal government has usurped power far beyond its constitutional limits, and the 10th Amendment is clear. Powers not delegated are reserved
All right, I'm
to
just going to
the
kill it.
states.
I'm on it. We can't have
The
them
power
listen
to
this shit.
create
All right.
It's good audio. It's just echo. There's something wrong with it because
All right, well,
her
I'm just gonna
audio's
kill
good.
it.
So basically, what it is she's talking about how each individual state has the power. We don't need to wait for DC to tell us what to do with this shutdown. If we had legitimate people in government, remember we talked before, the states are sovereign and independent. Federal government only gets involved supposedly if the state asks for help. That's what she tries to teach people and train people. So she's talking about going to your local government and saying, hey, get a move on with the shutdown. Do what you need to do to get things covered as best as you can. She said what's happening is none of these local people are doing anything about it. They're giving all the power to the federal government, and we sit here twiddling our thumbs. So there's state rights, local rights, not federal rights. Jeff B., is that right? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
it's supposed to work from the states. The states, the governors. Look, our governor, Governor DeWine, and the lieutenant governor, Trutza, had basically come out and said, look, in Ohio, we have a rainy day fund that we can tap into to take care of benefit holders. And then once the government reopens, they'll be reimbursed by the federal government. If these executives of these states would actually do their jobs,
Exactly.
and that starts at city council. Look, I've been probably to the city council 8 times in the last 6 months over representing the owners of the shopping center where I'm at. And I have never seen a more dysfunctional bunch of people in my life. I mean,
See?
I will have to send you some links because all of these are recorded. And, the 4 times that I've gotten up to speak, it's just mind-boggling. From the mayor on down, how inept now. Keep in mind, I'm no building engineer, but I can look at a building and say, if you remove this,
This is going to
the
go
whole-
fall and go boom.
yeah, it's going to break loose. Well, they were going to the city was going to fine the owners of this plaza $500 a day if they didn't take down a marquee sign in an abandoned building that we're going to have removed. And I went to city council and say, wait. I had a PowerPoint, showed it to them. I'm like, if you remove these 2 iron beams that you guys are saying to be removed, what happens to the front part of this building? And it was truly like watching deer in headlights. I don't think there was. I said, I'm no structural engineer, but I know this bitch is coming down.
It's going to fall and go boom.
Right. And it's an aptitude, from the top down. And it boggles my mind. It really, really does.
Hey, real quick, I want to say thank you to Conservative Cowboy. He bought us a coffee tonight. Thank you so much. I didn't see a message on it, so if there was a message, I apologize. But I looked at both places and I didn't see a message. But appreciate the support tonight. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I was going to tell everybody. Okay, so we had the sound set up, but yesterday we're trying to work on the call-in show so that when you guys call in, Tammy and Jeff both can be interactive in that conversation instead of just having a conversation with me. So we have moved some things around in our sound, and we're trying to work the bugs out again. And so I apologize for the audio tonight and the echo and all that stuff, but just know that the producer's been working on it. We're probably going to have to run another test show just to see if we can work some of those bugs out. But we are going to try a call in tonight, and I don't know. Could be a train wreck. I'm not 100% sure.
Where's Travis at?
He's in here lurking somewhere, so that adds to it. So this is just this. We'll start with the November 5th because you were talking about what the November think happening before we get to Venezuela. This is just an article, so this is safe for me to play tonight. So I just want this flyer. Okay, this is gonna piss you guys off too. I'm sure.
I'm already pissed.
I know, but wait till you see this. So basically, this is the flyer for committing to join the nonviolent, relentless protest in D.C. on November 5th. But the time has come for the fall of the Trump fascist regime. Beginning Wednesday, November 5th, Washington, D.C. at 11 a.m. They're going to go to the Washington Monument, surround the Capitol, surround the White House, and it's the 1-year anniversary of Trump's election, so they want to flood D.C. with this. Do not stop until Trump is removed. And then this yellow stuff here is basically, you can read the full call at refusefascism.org. So this flyer is talking about fascism, it's talking about not stopping until he's out of office. It's saying that all of us that voted for him basically voted for a fascist, and it is so maddening that I can't even believe that this flyer is out here and you can sign this up and for this and go there and do this. It is just so, it pissed me off so bad. It says it's the biggest nonviolent mobilization in U.S. history. But I don't think that we are allowed to do that. If something happens where you're going to the Capitol, look what happened to our side with that happening. And they're saying nonviolent. That's what Trump said in his speech, and look what happened. So I think this is going to be a big problem, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to end well.
I want to let Jeff go first. Go ahead, Jeff.
So this pisses you two off?
This is
Excuse
what?
me?
I said this flyer pisses you guys off?
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't piss me off. I'm actually kind of happy.
Why?
Think about it.
Am I getting too emotional right away over it?
Well,
instead of
no.
thinking deeply?
I mean, you answered your own reasoning.
Oh, it's
Now
not gonna
this is
end
just
well.
this is my theory. This is not based on anything, but seeing history and how operations work. They have laid a trap with J6 because remember I told you the J6 was a U.S. Secret Service, U.S. military operation to get certain classified information out of the Capitol building. The Democrats, some Republicans, just screamed insurrection, attempted coup of the United States government. Well, now this flyer that they put out, they want to basically remove Trump from the White House, figuratively or literally, and I guarantee you, somebody gets close to that fence line at the Capitol building, there will be shots fired. They will not mess around. And if it gets too violent, this enables Trump to come out and give them what they want. The Insurrection Act. Not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
Right
but
up the old cawoos.
Right. This could lay the groundwork for what is more than likely going to happen. And why do you think? Now, if you think about it, remember Pete Hegseth ordered all those troops into D.C.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth also ordered all those JAG officers into D.C.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This. I
Well-
mean, you have to remember Nancy Pelosi saying you never waste an opportunity. You never waste a time to use something, right? And I forget what her she had some flamboyant phrasing on it. But they're flipping the book on these people who, and not just saying Democrats, there's a lot of Republicans in this too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? When you openly say that you're going to remove a sitting president of the United States by any means necessary, that's an insurrection. You didn't hear the Republicans and some Democrats saying we got to go in and forcibly remove Joe Biden.
Right, right.
We dealt with it.
Exactly. Well, I like that. That settled me down a bit there, but I can't believe there's that many people,
Yes.
even if they're paid to do this kind of crap. I mean, what are they thinking?
Well,
I just don't get it.
here's the problem, and I know I'm probably going to piss some people off. Americans are not very bright because if you're listening to the TV and the news media telling you to go out and do something, you're not very intelligent. If you cannot think for yourself and say, you know what, if I go down and storm the White House and demand that we overthrow the king, it's probably not going to work out too well for me. If you cannot rationalize that in your head, yeah, you may have to be laid down.
Well, it ought to be interesting, and it's the 1 year anniversary. I didn't even realize that
Yeah.
of his presidency. I didn't even realize that.
Well-
They're just trying to stick it to him every which way they can, and they just won't stop sticking it to him, or trying to at least.
Now, here's another thing that's, when I say this, it's probably going to piss you off, but I think it's all a setup. Don't be surprised if Mungdani don't win tomorrow night,
Oh,
in
I
New
wouldn't be
York.
surprised at all.
because there are already, I've seen some articles, not in mainstream news, but they are already alluding to that there's some type of operation going on in New York for voter fraud.
Wow.
All right, I swear Tammy is purposely trying to not let me talk tonight.
I'm going to shut
I think
up.
that's been
I
her
know, I'm a
entire
little
game plan.
I'm aggressive tonight, aren't I? I'm so sorry. Go ahead, LW.
No, you're fine.
I'm just sip it.
I'm just poking. But I do want to say thank you to H. Ann. She bought all three of us a coffee tonight, and she says, Jeff, my dad worked for Chrysler Corporation Missile Defense at NASA from 1960 to 1980. He was in the blockhouse when Gus Grimison and crew died. He was devastated. He worked on Gemini, Mercury, Saturn, and the shuttle. I have a notebook of his shuttle notes. If the world is flat, he would never have stayed here. But I'm not ruling it out that he was lied to. What are your thoughts on the moon, NASA, etc.? But before I let Jeff go crazy on that shit, I want to say this, because I was ready to just throw a tantrum, fucking throw my hat off, throw my glasses, and raise hell. But I don't want to take away from what Jeff said, because I don't disagree what he said. But I will say this, and this is the only thing that I will say. If something doesn't happen, if this insurrection, because that's exactly what the hell this is going to be, an insurrection, any violence, any burning of towns, cities, buildings, cop cars, or anything else, if any of that shit happens and we don't see the National Guard, local police, and everyone else, marshals coming in, swooping people up and taking them off to jail, you're going to see me lose my shit on this show. I promise you that. So I'm going to hold true to what Jeff has said, because I don't disagree what he's saying, and I do believe that. So I'm just going to cross my fingers, but I'm not holding my breath that if this happens, that exact thing, like Jeff said, the president's was set on January 6th when they scooped those guys up, and I hope that they scoop all them sons of bitches up, to be honest with you. So that's all I have to say. I don't want to go on any further. But Jeff, if you want to answer Hannah there on her comment about her dad, the moon, NASA, all that stuff, go for it.
Yeah, before I do that, the this is old age bite me. What were you just talking about, Mike? Oh,
Old
The
age,
insurrection?
bite me. Yes,
The insurrection.
Bite me, old age.
Yeah, the thing that you made an amazing comment on, and I didn't want to come in after you and blow a gasket. So I was trying not to blow a gasket
Yeah.
and just say, yeah, I agree with you.
well, yeah, I got my thought back. See, that's the old age kicking in. And you are right, Mike. And if it does happen and something isn't done, you are going to see a lot of Trump loyalists turn on him in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna be one of them.
Because you don't have a functioning government. So you have basically unilateral control. And the Supreme Court, they have made an opinion on this since the shutdown. But now going to,
I think the door is wide open for him, Jeff. To be
Oh, I
honest
think
with you,
so,
like
too.
you said, they got the JAG officers, they got the military poised and ready to go. Could it lead to martial law with those crazies in D.C.? I bet it does. That I would be willing to throw some money at. So
Right.
I like I said, I believe everything that you said is very possible, and I say that with more possibility than any of the other stuff that I even say possible, because a lot of it I think is just hoo-yah. But
right.
yeah, this very well could happen.
And with Ann's question, here's I've seen. Well, let me put it to you like this: I don't understand how we went to the moon when we did, and they say we can't go to the moon now. It would be too expensive. When I have more
Here we
computing
go.
power on my phone.
And White Rabbit's in the chat tonight too. So
we
I'm
go.
sure
Right.
I'm sure as soon as we turn the phones on, Corey's gonna call in and drop some shit. So
Well,
go for it.
I mean, I think we've been lied to about a lot of stuff. I
Oh,
think,
me too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hey, I
think
sent you guys the clip of the newest astronaut that they're getting prepared to do something, and he said that this is going to be the first time that we
Yeah.
ever make it to the moon. Like, you
Well-
can't even make this shit up.
No, and and it's hard to tell if stuff's real anymore. But you even have Neil Armstrong doing a couple slip ups.
Oh, he knocked a son of a bitch down for calling him on that shit.
Yep.
Right.
I seen that video.
And I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of things during that time period. We were in the Cold War.
Yep.
We wanted to.
We wanted to scare people like we'd been there. I
Yeah.
had this same conversation last week with a guy at work who he's different. He is way different. but it's fun to talk to him because he's got a different perspective of things, and I like talking to him about this shit. And I asked him if we made it to the moon. He's like, "Yeah, of course we did." I am not a flat earther. I'm not even a round earther at this point. I'm a no earther. Like I don't even frickin' know. But I brought some good arguments of flat earth up to him. I told Tammy about this the other day. And the guy went home. He came to work the next day and said, "Dude, I couldn't sleep last night." He goes, "I was thinking about what you said." And of course he wanted to have a debate with me back and forth, and I allowed the debate. It was not a problem. He was very respectful, but I just simply told him some of this shit, I'm sorry, doesn't make sense to me at all. And I have a hard time believing that we made it to the moon. Now, the whole flat earth thing's a whole nother thing. And I could probably reach out to, I did send Flat Earth Dave an email the other day. I could reach out to Flat Earth Dave again and have him come back on the show just to do another cool show, because I did enjoy having him on. But Jeff, it's we've been lied to about so much shit. It is hard to figure out what is reality and what is not. What's a lie, what's not. Like, it's just anymore.
Well,
it's just a mind, F
It
word.
is.
I'm not a big and I know this will probably shock a lot of people and think I'm lying. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist,
It makes even me laugh because
Oh,
I know what
shit.
people think.
right?
Jeff,
But have you?
I
ever-
am. I love the shit. It's entertaining, and I
Yeah.
learned so much. I
Right.
have learned so much through conspiracy theories, whether they're true, not true, whatever you want to believe. I don't care. But I have honestly learned a lot since I started doing conspiracy theories.
Right. Well, have you ever went outside when the moon is bright and you look at the moon and it looks like continents of the earth?
yes, where you can see the dark. Yes,
Yeah,
the dark spots in
where
there.
you can see like South America.
It's weird.
I
It is
swear to
weird.
God, yes.
No,
I've
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen that now. Now you just screwed me up. I'm going to be looking at the
Every
moon in a
night.
totally different way, looking for Africa or something.
Yeah, when you look at the moon, there are certain nights I swear that you can look out and you can see the whole continent of South America. I'm like, all right, I don't drink, but if I did, that would be a good one.
It's
Well,
crazy.
it's all weird. And I'll just say real quick on my flat earth thing, I was trying to explain this to LW the other day. He's like, no, I think that we live on the flat square part because it talks about four corners of the earth in the
Well,
Bible.
I
But
sent
we're
you.
s-
I
Go
sent
ahead.
you that. I sent you that video that showed the four corners like you're talking about, like it says in the
Yep.
Bible, and then it kind of dips down, which is Antarctica, and that the Earth is like a part of a circle globe, but it's sunken down in there, and then you have the firmament above it.
So there's
And-
a circle. Yes.
Correct. And so I sent that to you because I found it very interesting, very, very interesting. And I used to think that maybe they were trying to split hairs in the Bible with the whole firmament above and the waters below and all that stuff. And again, there has been absolutely nothing that has proven that the Earth at this point is round to me, other than CGI or what they show us and want us to believe. And there's been no absolute proof that the Earth is flat to me either. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle.
It's both. It's both. Flat is what we live on, the land, and then we're
Well-
surrounded by the firmament, which is a circle because God separated the waters, top and bottom, and I'm
Wait.
sticking to it. What?
So I just want to go like dig up Red Adair and say, hey, Red, let's do this. Pick any point on the globe and just start boring a tunnel and let me know when you end up in space. Because going through the other side.
Shit, we better
It's crazy,
move.
yes.
We
Yeah,
better
let's
move
move on.
on, Tammy, because we still want to take a couple of callers. We're gonna have to wrap
Okay.
up this part of it quick.
Yes, so we'll go to Venezuela. As far as so Venezuela, the Tucker Carlson clip I was going to play, but can't. He's basically saying that we are going to end up going to war with them, and that there's a reason for the oil and everything else. He doesn't believe that what we are being told is the truth, and he believes that we will be doing a war. He said, you don't send all these big ships over just because you're going after drug cartel or whatever the excuses we're giving. So that's why I wanted to know what Jeff thought about it, since he knows all about that. Because Tucker has been really saying some interesting things and having interesting shows, and I'm not so sure that he's pro Trump or pro what he was before, because he's finding out more information talking to like FBI people, ex-military people and stuff like that. So his shows have really been something lately, and he's kind of rubbing people the wrong way. But I just thought it was interesting to see what he said, because he's like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but this is coming. So he's pretty secure that it's coming. Jeff B?
Well, I'm actually surprised that during this whole show you guys haven't asked about the name.
What, Jeff B?
No, Missing Ghost.
Oh, Missing Ghost.
I was going to, but we didn't get to
I
that
got
yet.
distracted. Sorry, Jeff.
A lot going on, Jeff.
Squirrel. So, yeah, there's something definitely imminent, and I have been reached out by a couple people that have asked me about a certain area in Venezuela that I had no clue about, and that supposedly has some tunneling systems in that region. Um, but I was tracking uh, on ship traffic. There were two ships that I kind of know where they were ported out of, um, and they were making their way towards the Caribbean, and they were supposed to arrive based on nautical miles, how many knots that ship could go. They disappeared late last night, and we call them what are called ghost ships. So there are a couple extremely highly technical Navy vessels that are used for JSOC purposes only, Joint Special Operations Command. And they have all kinds of gadgets, all kinds of new technology that they test prior, 4 or 5 years prior to uh, them going out to regular forces. And both of those ships disappeared in the Caribbean. So I'm guessing, because Trump's been saying, I'm not doing anything, I'm not doing anything. But you don't move all these assets and, you know, to a region, because the last thing that you want to do, especially if somebody's already been on a deployment and they're reaching their end of their deployment, you want to kill morale quick. Have the skipper notify the crew that, oh, we're not pulling into port because the commander in chief has ordered us somewhere else, and then nothing happens. Yeah, they get pissed off. Plus, put on top, you don't know if you're going to get paid. Yeah, that really ticks them off. Um, but I think this is going to there's a lot more to this Venezuela, and there's rumors that uh, he Maduro has already evacuated, which if he has, I'm sure we know where he's at. Um, but this, I predicted, 48, 72 hours, and we're within, a 5, 6 hour window of that. So my prediction probably going to go right into the sewage system.
Trump
I'm
did-
concerned about all of it, to be honest with you. I'm concerned. I'm concerned
There's-
about South America. I'm concerned about Ukraine, Russia. I'm concerned
Mexico.
about Taiwan and China, Mexico, all of it. Like it's there's so much on Trump's plate. It's hard to keep up, and I'm not even Trump.
Well, Trump did come out just the other day, yesterday, I think it was. Sorry, Jeff. But he said he was quite. Oh, it was the 60 Minutes interview, which I watched. The 60 Minutes interview came out overtime. It's called 60 Minutes Overtime on Sunday. And he was saying, she asked him about Venezuelan war, and she goes, are we going to war with them? And he's like, I don't think so. I don't believe so. And basically, but it's that nod of, you got to do the right thing. You got to do what we tell you to do, or that's it. No holds barred. So
He said on that interview that Venezuela was going to give us everything that Trump requested, which what it sounded like to me was a lot of rare earth minerals and crude oil is what it sounded like to me, and I could be wrong.
Yeah. Which six did you see where Trump put out the full 60 minutes and not the edited version?
no.
Yes. I didn't know that. I didn't even watch it. But I guess Trump released what the actual whole 60 minutes was and how they edited stuff out.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to have my buddy send me the link to it.
Yeah. I'd love to see that.
But yeah, there's and here we go. I'm gonna put on that tinfoil hat again because we were talking about raids 3-4 years ago, right? Where we thought certain countries were getting raided, certain people were getting picked up, and how, there was a coalition of countries to go in and rip out all these people, right? Wonder, and this is just conspiracy theory, wonder if that's what we're being told is happening right now. Because I have always told people, not that I don't believe the war in Ukraine is going on. I believe it is. But what we're being told, we're being lied to. Because over the last 24 hours, you can see reports out of Venezuela, out of Colombia, out of all the Caribbean, that they're reporting multiple hours of GPS jamming going on.
Yep.
Okay. So to me, when you start doing GPS jamming, that means you're flying in some pipe hitters. You're bringing in some bad boys that you're dumping into the jungle to start doing targeting.
Wow.
But Vladimir Putin, they weren't smart enough to figure out, wow, if we use a lot of GPS jamming, their missiles aren't going to be able to. That's why I'm saying something about that whole thing stinks.
Yeah.
Pee-wee.
Patooey. I swear, none of it makes sense. We're not going to know everything, but boy, trying to figure it out just gives you headaches sometimes.
I keep getting distracted really easy. Tammy, Kathy H has been trying to get your attention for a while now.
What?
About if you would drop some of the links there in chat, they'll grab them or send them to her for like that very first Grassley thing that you did and whatever else. If you send that to Kathy, they'll drop those links in chat so everybody can get those links. Are you guys ready for me to turn the phones on?
Yeah, go ahead. Jeff,
right,
you ready?
We'll go ahead.
Why not?
Kick
This
the
is the
phone.
real
Why
fun
the
part
heck
of the
not?
show.
All right, producer's working on it. While they're working on it and get the phone lines up, you guys get ready to call in. It is 620-317-1776. We'll give you a couple of minutes to make a comment, ask a question, say hello to Jeff. And then we'll kind of try to wrap this up a little bit. But tonight we have roughly right around 700 people watching live, so we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. If you'd like to call in, again, the number is 620-317-1776. And hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Rumble, the X, share us out, and make a comment if you guys are watching the show later.
I can hear the talking. It says you're connected to the host.
Oh, that's good. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Looks like we already got a caller. Let's go ahead and bring him in. All right, caller, welcome to LWN tonight. What's your name? Where are you from?
Corey.
Hello, I can't hear anything.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Again, we're trying to work through this. We're trying to get everybody involved. I can't hear you, caller.
I can hear him.
Can you?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you hear
Talk to him, Tammy.
But it's going.
Can you hear me?
It's going through a phone or something. It's not going
through.
Can you hear me
now?
Your mic. Go ahead.
Tammy, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
But there's an echo as well.
Yeah, Corey will probably have to mute his YouTube.
Go ahead. Tammy, can you hear me?
Yep. There's delays.
Hey, you want me to wait or you want me to...
Well, LW's got to hear you too, and
That's
Jeff.
okay. Go for it, Tammy.
Okay.
Hey, you want me to wait or you want me to...
Yeah, there's back feed, and you can hear it. So it's like a delay, like it's a long delay, and there's an echo, but I'm not hearing it. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he probably
I can't hear you.
Yeah, so it's jacked up here. I'm going to shut up and try to let you guys figure it out, LW.
Well, I can't hear anything, so I'm flying blind. I have no idea what's going on. Producers in there trying to work on it, but we might just have to wait. And
he said that you. I'm sorry, not to interrupt, Corey. He says you need to turn off your browser when you're on a phone call.
Tammy?
Yeah, but Corey called in before, so I don't think he had his browser on.
Yeah, he's not echoing now.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah.
So
It's
you
just-
guys can hear him.
Yeah,
I just can't.
And
It's the roles
I turned off my
flipped
I turned
here.
off my TV.
Oh, there you did. You had your
Yeah.
TV on?
I'm gonna hang up and call back.
You're fine. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yep, you're good.
Jeff can hear you too, so go ahead, Corey. I think he just hung up anyhow.
Baba.
You and me could hear him, but LW can't hear him.
Yeah, now he knows how we feel. Baba
Yep.
Booey.
Yeah. Yeah, it will echo. I know. He did it right the first time, so
Hello.
Got another
Yes.
caller, Tammy.
it's him. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is David Steen.
Oh, hey, David Steen. Good
Copy
to have
that,
you on
guys. Can you hear me?
LW. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yep. Now he can't hear us. So, Jeff B., how's the weather up there? Oh, no. Oh, we don't. What's the number? Well, they don't have the number up, Butter Cafe, because they got to get it figured
No.
out first.
I think maybe we should just turn
Just-
it off for
yeah, for
tonight,
tonight.
And we'll have to play around with it again and see if we can't get it fixed because it's no good if nobody can hear. You guys can hear, which is great, but if nobody can hear in the audience, that's even worse. So
Yeah. So
it
I
just
don't know.
is. We'll
Yeah.
have to. We'll have
It
to.
is what it
we're
is.
trying something new tonight, and we're trying to get it to where Jeff and Tammy could be part of it, and it doesn't look like it's working.
Yeah. It's okay. We gave it a good shot.
We
Yeah.
did give it a good shot.
I think we could take a lesson from Rush Limbaugh. WNIR, you're on the air. Good, please.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. I know. But anyhow, I think that's basically all I needed to cover tonight. I don't know if there's something, Jeff, you want to bring up, or LW, if you didn't get a chance since I talked so much tonight. But I was very excited about this show because I think it had a lot of information and important information.
They're saying that they heard the caller.
Oh, yeah,
There's-
we heard the caller. The caller couldn't hear us.
Oh, okay. So
But then the caller did hear us. But then,
okay, so
then
that's the feedback I got to give the producer. So I'm going to ask everybody real quick in chat. Did you guys hear the caller fine? And then question to Tammy and Jeff, did you guys hear the caller? Because I couldn't hear anybody but you guys.
the caller we could hear. There was echo and delay. Then that got fixed and we could hear the caller. Jeff and I could hear the caller, but then he was low. And then it was fine for a second, but then the caller couldn't hear us. But we could hear the caller. So there
Okay.
was a variety pack that happened,
Oh,
that
boy.
occurred.
Total train wreck.
So, see, everybody said they could hear the caller just fine. Some said you echo. There was echo at the beginning, and then there was delay. There was
Yeah,
like a 5-second delay, right?
Yeah, I think the echo was he had another device on playing.
And he shut it
YouTube.
off.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if we do this? What if we try one more caller? You guys good
They
with that?
want to. Yep, they said
yeah,
they want callers.
I can't hear, but you guys go ahead and do it. I'm fine.
Okay.
Take
one
care
more
of it,
time.
Tammy and Jeff. Let's
What's
try
the
her one
number?
more time and see.
This is the part of the show where Tammy gets to talk.
This is his payback and karma because at the beginning of the show, put the number up, please, so we can have the caller. The number's not up there. But
All
a
right.
little behind the
Producer's
scenes.
working on it.
For all you listening right now and watching, behind the scenes, LW was all happy because he couldn't hear me and I was muted.
You are
so he was,
connected as the
he was
host.
he was all excited
Welcome,
about that and
host.
see how
You are
karma
now in the
works.
host
Now
room
he
and can
can't hear
manage
his
your
own
callers from the
callers.
call-in studio web interface.
Okay, here we go. Hello, caller. Are you there? You're on LWN. Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Who's this?
Hello?
Yep. We can hear him, but I don't think he can hear us.
Hey, Tammy, do you hear me this time?
Yes. Yes.
But he can't hear you.
But you can't hear me, my friend.
Okay, Tammy, I can't hear you, but I'm going to talk.
There you go.
So, the Arctic Circle and Antarctica there's a no-fly zone. The reason is because they don't want you to see what's beyond the Arctic Circle, or the Antarctica Circle. And the Arctic Circle, inside there's a giant black mountain underground where all the magnetic waves go into it. It's pulsating. And they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to know the truth that we are a torus field. This flat realm is a torus field. And there's many more realms beyond here and below the sea here.
Interesting.
And if you want to check the flat earth thing, check some flights to certain areas of the world, and also check the underwater cables and orientate the earth on the flat earth map, and you'll see why the cables go a certain direction. It's very simple, guys. It's right in our face. And the special forces and Russia's and China's special forces already went into Mexico and cleaned it out in 2021. They're all working together. So this is a movie for the normies, or the yellow hats, as you call them, the yellow people that just want to close their eyes and don't believe anything. You can't be one of them because you'll lose your mind. Remember, everything is being done and has been done, and just relax, get some popcorn, and enjoy the show. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. Get the phones right so I can get in there. And for the rest of the world, God bless America. We love you all, and stay safe.
That's awesome. Thanks for calling in. So, Jeff B., since you know about flights and all that, I've heard that before, that the flights, some disappear, some can't go certain places, and then underwater cables, I've heard about that too. I don't know how we validate that, but I find it very interesting because there's a couple military people that are my neighbors, and I met them through the Republican Party and stuff, and we were talking, and of course I had to ask them. I said, a couple were pilots as well, and I said, have you ever seen the curvature? Have you seen this or that? And they won't say anything. They look at me like I'm crazy and change the subject. So to me, that's pretty telling in a way.
It would be cool, like if, the caller was talking about, like in Antarctica, where like the Black Mountain, if you would go beyond that and you would see like Superman, because wasn't that where the home of Superman was?
Yeah.
Look, I'm open to anything. I can believe anything. I can disbelieve anything because, to me, a lot of stuff just in my mind doesn't make sense. None of it. I can't grasp in my mind a galaxy with planets, just based off of, the reading rainbow telling me the shit exists.
Right. It's true. I mean, things are so, I don't know. Things are so majestic on the other hand. Like, I tell LW all the time, he lives in the mountains, so he gets to go there and see from the top of the view of a mountain, the sunrise, the sunset, and just see how beautiful and great the world is, from that point of view. And when you talk about all this other stuff, it's like, man, people got to dirty up, mess it up, and ruin it for us. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. So somebody put a comment in there. We have a video flying over the Arctic Circle and seeing the mountains pulsating with a torus field. All right.
LW, have you ever seen pulsating mountains where you're at?
No, I haven't. I'm talking to the producer too, so
okay.
Just trying to figure out the call center thing. And I think what we'll do is, instead of having a show tomorrow night, we might just do like a test run tomorrow night. And if you guys want to try to call in tomorrow night just to help us with the call center, that'd be very helpful. But it's getting late tonight for me, and so I'm gonna
wrap it up.
I'm gonna have to wrap it up, but I'll tell the producer, because they're listening right now. We'll talk after the show, and then we'll make a plan for tomorrow.
Well, that actually would be fun, just to have a test show and have a bunch of train
wreck.
wrecks till we figure it out.
We'll just call it Train Wreck Tuesday. Yeah.
Travis is in the chat. Travis, we're having a train wreck show tomorrow. You got to be here.
Tomorrow's Train Wreck Tuesday. Join us.
Hey, and speaking of this whole like Black Mountain and stuff, there'd be two people that I would really, really love to contact. That's like be on the other side. One would be Mike Penny saying, "Hey, buddy, how's that spaceship?" And number two, Dave. I'd like to, say, Dave, on the other side, how's this shit looking? Just because it would just be fun to hear their interaction.
Oh, yeah. It'd be amazing.
There's a few buddies of mine that it watched Mike Penny and laughed back in, when after Doug had died. And, I always tell him, I said, if a damn spaceship landed in my front yard and Mike Penny walked out of that Joker, I wouldn't be shocked. And they're like, man, you got a couple screws loose.
You guys want to roll in a final thought?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So, do you want Jeff to go first?
Sure.
So he can skedaddle?
Yep.
So my final thought is don't get, wrapped up in all this nonsense. Just, in the last month, if you could really sit back and say, has your life as a whole been altered by the government shutdown? Most of us could say no. Everything is still moving for us. And the only other thing is I'm helping LW. We got some cool stuff coming up. We started to launch a test out today. So as soon as we get some stuff to Mike and Tammy, we're going to be able to start showing that. And I think you guys will like it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Tammy,
Cool.
your final thought?
My final thought is maybe it's enough of this political and what's going on in the world, and let's get into spaceships and the Bigfoot and aliens and all that and have a little fun and laugh.
Yeah, I definitely am.
I swear.
I'm totally game for doing some different material just to break up the monotony of always talking about politics and everything. And to have callers call in and tell us do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? And just have a good time, because honestly, we have to unplug from some of this stuff or you're just going to go absolutely insane. So my final thought for tonight is just appreciate all the support that you guys are giving us. It's good to see some of you that have not been around for years because we've been taken down. It's good to see you guys back. Mm-hmm. Good to see all of the mods tonight and all the OGs, the new Gs, and and it's always fun with Jeff B. And we always like to have entertainment, so we have these train wrecks with the phone calls and stuff. So I say tomorrow, let's just call it Train Wreck Tuesday, Tammy. Put a link in there for a show tomorrow night.
Sure.
And the whole show is just going to be us trying to take calls and see what the hell happens.
I love it. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Absolutely. And then don't forget, so Wednesday night, I'm waiting to hear back from a couple of our LWN people to see if I've got a person scheduled for Wednesday night. And Wednesday night, Jeff said that he would join us, and we're going to try to talk about DC Intel Wednesday night. So you might not want to miss that show. Maybe tomorrow night you might want to miss. Wednesday you won't. And then I'll be back again. It's looking like Thursday night with John Estabrooks and Diamond Inn. And we're going to talk about, stuff that's probably
the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's just it's some of the ugly. And so you're probably going to want to hear it because you're going to get firsthand experience, and you're also going to get John Estabrooks and all of his deep dive research. And he always comes with a trainload of information. You're not going to want to miss it. So that's my final thought for tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight, and God bless.
Bye, everybody.
Catch you on the next one.